So you want to start a business cleaning houses or cleaning businesses? Well, you're in the right place because I am the cleaning business GOAT, and I'm here to tell you how to start a cleaning business step by step. And not just start a cleaning business, but a six-figure plus cleaning business. So let's get into it right now. You ain't got to get no course, none of that. Stay tuned for the steps right here.
Headed to the top, there ain't none of y'all stopping me. Used to say I never get a ring, Charles Barkley. Now I got a wife, got kids, own property. Bubble-eyed beans that look like that be watching me. Okay, I lied about the beans, but that was hard though. I'm still in that black act, but she starred though. Cause that's all it takes. I'm flashing for. I'm on my grind, not no more fashion show.
What's up, y'all? I'm AJ Simmons, founder of the Clean Biz Network. And that right there is why they call me the GOAT of the cleaning business, because I help multiple people, not just multiple people, thousands of people all over the world start and grow their cleaning companies because I founded Clean Biz Network. And I just give away free game every single day right here on YouTube. You know what I mean? So here we go. Step number one, make your plan. All right, simply make your plan. So figure out, do I want to clean houses? Do I want to clean buildings? Do I want to clean particular types of buildings? Do I want to clean law offices, dental offices? Do I want to clean apartment buildings? Do I want, figure out exactly what lane do you want to stay in? Do you want to just clean whatever they throw your way, right? So figure out what type of cleaning it is that you want to do. Now, me personally, my background is in commercial cleaning. That means that pretty much any type of business, I have experience in cleaning it. I stayed away from apartment turnovers. I really didn't like residential cleaning. And then I was around before Airbnb cleaning really came along. So those aren't really my specialties, but the steps that I'm giving you here will help you to start and set up your business for any one of those niches, all right? But just number one, figure out exactly the direction that you want to go in, all right? So that's step number one. Step number two, pick your name. And when you pick your name, don't get ridiculous with it, right? You don't have to start, fancy pants, biggest of all time cleaning service, right? You don't want such a huge long name. Keep it simple and think big, right? Because we're trying to start a six-figure plus cleaning company, not just some fly-by-night hustle side business to your record label company, right? We want to start a six-figure plus cleaning company. So if you're going to do that, you got to have a six-figure plus name. So keep it simple, like Toronto Cleaning Services, right? Or New York City Cleaning, you know what I mean? Or Jacksonville Cleaning Co., right? Virginia Beach Cleaning Services, right? You can kind of base it around your locality, or you can base it around your state, or you can say something simple and plain that just basically when they hear the name, they know what you do. All Clean Services, or Clean Pro Services, right? Or just Clean Pro, or Pro Clean. So you get the point, but basically just keep it simple on the name. That's the first thing. The next thing is once you think of a name, make sure you go and check and see if that name is available. So the first thing you want to search is your state's database, right? So every state where you go to register your LLC, which will be a step that's coming up later, but every state will have a place where you can search a database and see if the name is available. So make sure you search and see if the name is available with your state. And then also make sure that you search for the domain name, all right? So when I say domain name, what I mean is like when people have websites and you have www.cleanbiznetwork.com, Clean Biz Network is the domain name. So see if there's a domain name available for the name that you pick. So if you click ProClean as your company name, then make sure that www.proclean.com is available. And if it's not, then maybe you can do proclean.co or proclean.net or something, but just make sure that it's some type of domain variation available. Maybe you can do proclean VA, like if you live in Virginia, procleanva.com, right? But make sure that there's a domain name available when you search for your name, all right? And then also you can just search for different companies in your areas to see if there's any companies in your area with similar names that you don't want to get mixed up with your brand. If there are similar companies in your area that have a name similar to yours, that don't necessarily stop you from picking that name as long as that name is legally available through your state. But you just, for branding purposes, is why I'm saying you might want to still just make sure there's not similar companies with your name, because if they develop a bad record, that could hurt you with getting customers under your name as well. All right. Step 3, get legal. Now, in the past, because I do these how to start a cleaning business videos every single year, for the most part, I try to anyway. And so typically I will say, go get your LLC. After you pick your name, go ahead and get your LLC. This year is going to be different because there's a new law out, all right? And so if you start an LLC, you are going to be required, started in 2024, January 1st, 2024, to register with this thing called FinCEN, All right, FinCEN. That's FINCEN. All right, .gov. And so this is a new thing, and if you don't do this as an LLC, you will be fined. I believe it's a penalty of $500 per day for every day that you don't register with FinCEN. All right, so you might not necessarily want to jump into an LLC in the beginning. Instead, what you can do as an alternative is be a sole proprietor and register as a fictitious name filing. And so when you have a fictitious name, you'll get what's called a DBA. DBA stands for doing business as, all right? Now, here's the difference. If you get an LLC called Clean Pro LLC, the LLC stands for Limited Liability Company. All right, so if you're a limited liability company, then you are protecting and separating your assets, your personal assets. So if you own a home or you own a vehicle in cash or anything that you might own, boats, etc., then those things will be separate from the company in that LLC, the limited liability company. So the limited liability means that if you get sued, then your liability is limited to the company. All right. Now, on the other hand, if you get a fictitious name and get the DBA, now you're a sole proprietor. So that means that everything that you own and the company own is one and the same. All right. Now, if you know you don't own anything, you're renting an apartment, you're making a car note, or your car, you have a car that you own, but it's not worth that much, go ahead and do the DBA route and just get you some liability insurance and you'll be fine, and you can get the LLC later. That route is typically a little bit less expensive anyway, so you can go that route or you can go the LLC route, but whatever route you go, just make sure that you go, all right? Take some action. So that's the first part of getting legal. The second part of getting legal would be to get your EIN number, all right? Your employer identification number. It's also called, it could be called a tax ID number. That's the same thing as an EIN number. It might also be called a FEIN number, which is a federal employer identification number. But they're all the same, all right? Tax ID, EIN, and FEIN, they're all the same thing, all right? So get your EIN number. It is free to get. All you do is go to irs.gov, and then you will see right on their homepage if you click on EIN number, all right? After that, the other part of getting legal is open up your business bank account. Typically with most banks, all you would need to do to get a business bank account is show them your LLC filing or your fictitious name filing and your EIN number, your tax ID number, all right? With those two things, you typically can get your business bank account open, all right? But if you have to have an operating agreement, don't worry if you still want to go with a bank like Navy Federal that requires you to have an operating agreement with your LLC in order to open the account. There are plenty of operating agreement examples all over the internet. If you just go on Google and type in LLC operating agreement template, then that'll typically pop right up and you can just copy that and make it your own, all right? And then the final part of getting legal would be to get your business license. Now, I said get the business bank account before you get your business license because you want to get that business bank account as soon as possible, because once you get a business bank account, then you will have a checking account which is attached to a business debit card, right? Once you get that business debit card, you want to start pay for every single thing going forward with your business debit card, right? Because you want to track it for tax purposes. So you can get your business license with your business debit card, all right? And if we could have gotten the LLC or the fictitious name filing with the business debit card, we would have done that too, but you can't get the business debit card until you have, the LLC and the EIN and all of that. So the moment that we can get the business account open and get that business debit card, we want to. So that's why we get that before the business license. Now, once you're at this point and you have the business debit card, go ahead and get your business license only if you are required to have a business license in your city or county, all right? You have to check with your local city or county government to see if you're required to have a business license for commercial cleaning or residential cleaning. And it could be different. So sometimes they might require it for commercial cleaning, but not for residential cleaning. So make sure you check with your local government and find out. And again, you're an entrepreneur now. Do not let these small things, just because you got to go down to City Hall, stop you, all right? It's not that hard. You go down there and you open your mouth. Don't let stupid stuff like this scare you away, because I know a lot of people hear just this alone and be like, nope, too complicated, I'm out, all right? Don't do that, all right? And now that I think about it, there will be one more thing that we're going to add to getting legal, which is register with your local tax commission to charge sales tax. Again, this is another thing that's not required in every single locality. So make sure you check with your local tax office to see if you're required to charge sales tax in your area or not. All right. Now, step 4, get an insurance quote. Now, I say get an insurance quote because you don't necessarily want to sign up and pay monthly payments on insurance yet if you're not actually bringing in income and revenue yet from your company yet, right? So just go ahead and go online and get an insurance quote. If you click in the description of my video, I have a link to the insurance company that I recommend. It's called Next. And you can sign up through me. I am an affiliate for Next, but I highly recommend them. They're a reputable insurance company. And if you go through the link in my description, I can get a little something, and that'll be your way for paying me back for giving you this free game. This really could be a whole course, right? But I'm giving it to you for free, so the least you can do is if you get insurance, get it through my link in the description of my video, and I thank you kindly for that. Now, what type of insurance do you need? Well, you're just going to need general liability coverage. You want to get $1 million policy, so what I like to do is get $1 million policy with $2 million in aggregate. What the $2 million in aggregate means is that is the absolute maximum that you can get per year, right? So the $1 million policy, it means that it'll cover up to $1 million per incident, and then $2 million in aggregate means that it'll cover up to $2 million total for that year. All right. So get your $1 million liability policy, and then in addition to that, the other coverages that you may get later on could be a bond coverage, right? So you can get maybe a $20,000 or $50,000 bond, but bond you only need that if once you get ready to hire. Okay, so don't worry about bond coverage until you get ready to hire, because bond basically just covers theft, which you're not going to steal, right? You're a business owner, you're not looking to steal and self-sabotage your own company, but employees may. So at that point, you may consider getting bonded, all right? The other type of insurance will be workers' comp insurance. Now, are you required to get workers' comp insurance? It depends on where you live. Typically, in most locations, you don't have to get workers' comp coverage until you reach a certain amount of employees, right? I think the number is usually like 3 or more employees. You have to get workers' comp. But again, just check with your local state and see what the actual requirements are for the workers' comp coverage. And some customers, if you're doing commercial cleaning, some people will require you to have workers' comp before they'll hire you for the job. I know this comes up a lot with post-construction cleaning as well as with some apartment move-out cleaning. So if they require it for you to move forward with that job, I think it's just up to you to make the sound decision on deciding, is the cost of the workers' comp worth you getting in order to get this contract? Are they paying you enough for it to make sense for you to go get that coverage? If they're not, then you can hold off on that as well. But the main coverage that you absolutely will need is general liability coverage. It'll run you probably like $30 to $100 per month. Step 5, get an accounting software. All right. Now, we want to get an accounting software because we want to be able to track all of our income and all of our expenses. So that way, when tax time comes, you're not looking crazy out here and you got everything under control. You got everything lined up in your accounting software, and you could just ship it over to your tax people and let them do your taxes nice and easy at the end of the year. All right. Now, the tax software that I recommend would either be QuickBooks or WaveApps.com. Now, I recommend Wave Apps in particular because it's free to use, it's very simple, and I also have a tutorial on how to use WaveApps.com right here on my YouTube channel, so make sure you search that up as well if you need that tutorial. But definitely get you an accounting software. QuickBooks does cost monthly, so QuickBooks is the more popular one, but Wave Apps is free, and you definitely want to keep your monthly expenses as low as possible when you're starting off in the beginning with your brand new company. Step 6. Order your supplies, all right? You're going to need cleaning supplies, all right? Even if you plan on, I know a lot of you guys, you're hip to the game now and you want to create a system out of your company. You don't want to do the cleaning. Well, guess what? You're going to have to do some cleaning getting started off, whether you like it or not, all right? If people call out, they can't make it, you got to get in there and go do it. Now, once you're big enough where you can afford to miss that money, then you won't have to do it. You can just do a makeup clean, or you can give them a credit on their invoice. But in the beginning, typically, you're going to have to get out there and go do those cleanings in order to make up if somebody else calls out. All right, so go ahead and get you some cleaning supplies. All right, now if you don't know what to get in your cleaning supplies, I recommend that you go to www.cleaningbusinessstarterkit.com. There's a whole example of every single thing that you would need as far as cleaning supplies for a commercial cleaning company. All right, so make sure you go check that out, and either you can order a starter kit directly from that site, or you can just copy everything that's on that site and get it from somewhere else if you can find somewhere else to get the individual items for a cheaper price. All right. Step 7 would be to get your marketing materials. All right. What are marketing materials? Well, step 1, you want to get a logo shirt. All right. So something with your company logo on it, typically a polo, and something that you can just go to your walkthroughs with, something that you can meet customers with. Just something that has your company logo that you look professional with. You will wear with some khakis. All right. So get you your logo shirt, order some business cards. a brochure for your business, and some flyers. Those are the main things that I like to have when I'm going door to door or when I'm going to meet a customer to offer my services. All right. So that is step 7, marketing materials. Step 8, set up your online presence. Now, what is the online presence? A website, your social media. So typically the main social medias that I would set up for my company would be LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. And then finally, you want to set up a Google business profile. Now, do you have to have an online presence? Do you have to get these things to get started with a cleaning company? No. But if you want to get started with a 6-figure plus cleaning company like I'm telling you how to do, then you definitely want to have these things, right? Because if you go to meet with a potential client, guess what they're going to do when you leave? They're going to Google you, right? They're going to search you. And so if you have social media available, if you have a Google business profile available, if you have an actual website available that looks professional, guess what? They're going to trust you that much more, and that'll increase your chances of closing a deal on the contract. So make sure you set up an online presence. Now, fun fact. We do have memberships at Clean Biz Network, and with our memberships, we offer you the ability to build your own website right through our platform, so that way you don't have to go out and pay for another third party just to host a website every month, right? You get that automatically included in your Clean Biz Network membership, so you can check that out by visiting our website at www.cleanbiznetwork.app and see how we can help you with that. Step 9. You're going to need some warm leads. What are warm leads? Warm leads are basically opportunities to get customers, all right? So if you want to get new customers, guess what you have to do? You have to get a chance to meet them and offer them a quote for cleaning services, right? Well, you're going to need warm leads. So a couple different ways to get leads, but the number one way that I recommend to get leads will be to go to www.cleanbiznetwork.app and use our lead generation service. And so what happens is we provide leads for commercial cleaning. We do not provide leads for residential cleaning yet. But if you go to our website and if you want commercial leads, all you have to do is tell us where you're located, and we will cold call businesses in your area specifically for your company to meet with their company. Come meet with them, walk through the facility. We call them walkthroughs, right? So a walkthrough appointment. But you just go meet with them, do a walkthrough with them. And then once you're done with the walkthrough, you can go home and send them a proposal. And that's that. So if you want some leads, definitely check out our website again at www.cleanbiznetwork.app. Step 10. You need a bidding calculator and a proposal template. Now at Clean Biz Network, for our members, we offer bidding calculators and proposal templates. The bidding calculator is so that you can know how much to charge your customers, right? Because you probably won't know how to do it. So what we do is we show you how to perform the walkthrough that you meet with those warm leads. We show you how to perform the walkthrough. Then when you come home, you just plug those numbers because you're going to take measurements, and I'll show you how to do that in Clean Biz Network. And I also show you how to do it on this YouTube channel if you search AJ Simmons walkthrough. That's typically going to be a walkthrough video showing you how to perform a walkthrough and take measurements, right? So all you're going to do is take those measurements, plug them into our bidding calculator, and the calculator will tell you how much you should charge your customers for a job, all right? So you definitely want a bidding calculator for that, because if you're brand new, you don't know how to come up with the price, right? The other thing that you're going to need is a proposal template, because you're going to submit a lot of proposals to different potential customers, right? And so if you could just have a template there available, especially a digital one like we have at Clean Biz Network, you can email the proposal right over to the customer, and then they can just sign, you sign, and y'all pick a start date, and you move forward, all right? So definitely get you some type of software that offers bidding calculators and proposal templates, and the one that I recommend is obviously Clean Biz Network, all right? Step 11. And so once you come up with the price for how much you want to bid on the particular cleaning job, you submit the proposal, they sign, you sign the agreement, and by the way, the proposal that we have, it has a service agreement template right included with it. And so once you both sign the service agreement, you pick a start date and you begin to clean, and now you're in business. And so those are the steps right there, straight up and down on how to start a cleaning business, step by step by step. I would just add that once you finish and complete this whole process and you begin cleaning, I would do an inspection the following day to go and check with your new customer and see how they felt about your cleaning services, right? Because typically you're going to learn on the job. If you don't have any cleaning experience prior, then make sure you go back and check with your new customer. If you sub this job out to another cleaning company that already knows how to clean, still go back and inspect and make sure that they did the right thing that you told them to do, right? So go inspect behind these people, meet with your customers, learn from them, see how you can improve, and then just get out here and go find more customers, y'all. So now you know exactly the steps on what to do. Now all you have to do is take action. The cleaning industry is a 90 billion plus industry, y'all. So it's plenty of money out here just waiting for you to get some of it. So what are you waiting for? Take action. And if you want help from me and my company, just visit www.cleanbiznetwork.app to see how we can help you move forward. And if you just want to use these steps and try to do it on your own, go for it. I'm rooting for you. These steps were given to you here for free. And leave a comment and let me know if this helped you out or anything. You know what I mean? Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and stay tuned because I'm always giving away free game over here. And who else would you want to learn from about the cleaning business other than the cleaning business GOAT? I'm AJ Simmons, founder of the Clean Biz Network. Talk to y'all soon. Are you looking to start your... Thank you.